Hi, this is Peter from Pain, and you're watching rockflesh.com.
And here we are, rockflesh.com, our second interview of the year, and we are here in the bowels of the Academy Complex in Manchester, and I am just honoured to be with Peter from Pain.
Thank you. Welcome to
The show, yes. Well, as well, this is your second Manchester show in about a sort of year and a half.
Yeah.
This tour's been going on for quite a bit, supporting the I Am album, hasn't it?
Yeah, it never ends until you release another album.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were just recently here, and now we're back again, and I think we will be back one more time this year as headline.
Yeah.
That's what we think.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for that. So, but today is gonna be not much to do on stage because it's so cramped.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wing it, but we'll definitely give everything.
So, Pain was initially meant to be a side project, but has sort of become its own, 3 decades later, has become its own thing, which has got much of its own life as Hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, from the beginning, I didn't have any plans on going on tour with it, just to sit in the studio masturbating, So I guess after Demands we started with this certain lineup, and then it changed for another lineup, and time goes fast, people move on, and Pain has never really been so focused on being a band kind of thing, So, but lately, the last 5 years, I would say, it's more just like any other band, I would say, it's not only me in the band. My son, he wrote 2 songs for the last album as well. He contributes with it, and you have Jonathan that's been with us for a long time, and also Svalle. So it's a band now, I would say.
And I was also saying that to you sort of before we press roll, the fact that sort of actually when we saw you at Rebellion, there seems a real tightness and a real camaraderie between you.
I think we've done enough shows, so now we know where everybody's at a certain place in the song and things, because we play small venues, we play big venues, and so we kind of know each other very well now. We know what to do in certain places and how to do things, and it's just a feeling, and it just connects. It's something that you just keep on playing, you get tighter and tighter, and hopefully better and better.
So when you are an incredibly prolific songwriter. When you produce songs, are you very clear in your heads what's an Hypocrisy song and what's a Pain song, or do they sort of move between?
No, I mean, even before I start writing, I make up my mind. Because it's much easier to focus on a certain way. So before I even start thinking, I just go, okay, maybe I should write a song for this band now. Okay, and then I focus on that, and it becomes what it becomes.
And is it like almost getting into a certain, mindset? Is there almost a Pain Peter and a Hypocrisy Peter?
When it comes to writing, I think so, both lyric-wise and music-wise. I think it's 2 different kinds.
And do you see a sort of different, fan base? I've seen both Hypocrisy and Pain over the years, but there are people I know who like Pain and don't like Hypocrisy, and people I know who don't like Hypocrisy and not like Pain. Do you see sort of a very distinct fan base for both bands?
For sure. I mean, when you play with Pain, there's the audience smells better. There's a lot of more women.
I was about to say, is there more females?
And we appreciate that a lot. With when it's Hypocrisy, I guess it's more man-based, but still a lot of women. With Hypocrisy, people headbang. With Pain, you see a lot of people dance. So they can do whatever they want as long as they enjoy themselves, in one way or another.
And are you at the point now where actually you wouldn't see either one as your main band? They are both both your children.
Yeah, they're really just different needs in my life. So it's fun to do one thing for a while and then jump over to the other thing. for a while, and then just go crisscross.
I've definitely, again, being a fan of both bands, I've definitely found that songwriting is a lot more personal with Pain. There's a lot more talking about you and your own emotions. Is that does it provide a real outlet for that?
Yeah, it's a little bit like ventilating a little bit. It's like in the past when kids were writing their diaries and stuff like that. I guess was a way of ventilating, or when people are posting things. Today was a shit day. Fuck this. Blah 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 blah. It's just a way of ventilating. And same goes for me when I write lyrics with Pain, because it's more easier to adapt and just just puke out what you don't like or what you like. This is not so often what I write what I like, but
And how do you manage all this with also the fact that you are an incredibly well-respected producer? You look at you look at the stuff that the albums you produce, and it's almost a who's who of basically Scandinavian metal and stuff.
I was lucky. I think I did 1 or 2 good productions, and then all suddenly everybody was knocking on the door. You know, but after a while, you have a formula like baking bread. You have certain ingredients. At the end, it still comes out as a bread. So that's why I actually started with Pain, because I wanted to do more, technology in the studio with computers, which was not so normal in the 90s and things like that. So I just wanted to. I had to invent my band to produce, so to speak, so I could do something else, because it was very niched, my studio. It was death metal, black metal, heavy metal, not so much power metal, but, it was mainly there. And I really wanted to try with the keyboards and stuff, because I grew up with my dad. He was always listening to Jean-Michel Jarre and stuff, and he was building his own Moog machines and stuff, so...
But that's sort of one of the beauties of metal. I think one of the reasons metal has survived so long is the fact that it has almost absorbed. It's a bit like the Borg from Star Trek. It will just take different things and bring it into it, and it then becomes, 20 years ago people go, oh, you can't do that, and now all stuff that you're doing is now the norm.
And I mean, I think it's healthy. New generation comes in, they provide with their things. It reshapes it a little bit. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's death metal or metal in general. All these things, people take their own things into it, and then it actually changed. I mean, I started with Hypocrisy. I really loved the first albums of Deicide, Morbid Angel and Entombed and stuff, and I kind of wanted to sound like that. After one album, you start trusting yourself and you start writing more from within, so to speak, and then it kind of changed a little bit. So I think it's necessary for everybody, to really become the cover band of your favorite bands in the beginning, to find yourself, and then keep on writing, and then all suddenly you find your own little thing.
But decades and decades on, do you still get excited by it? You still finding yourself finding new bands and finding new sounds and going, this is good.
Not often, unfortunately. But I still think, sometimes I get excited when I write something, that it feels a little bit different from what I normally do, and that keeps me going, I guess.
But it must be sort of quite proud to watch, you produced a number of the Sabaton albums, and now they're globally massive. It must be a level of pride of watching bands like that you've been, part of the whole genesis of.
Yeah, I mean, my brother started with them, demos, and... He did 2 or 3 albums with them, so we kept it in the family, so to speak, all together. And they're still in the studio, but they're working with Jonas nowadays, because I'm always out touring or busy trying to write for my own bands and stuff like that. So, I mean, all the bands I'm really proud of recorded from the 90s and on. You see how they grew and things like that, which is great.
So, you were talking about the fact that touring and stuff. So, do you do like almost divide out time to your time? So the next 3 years is going to be Pain, and then it will be Hypocrisy again, or does it just go with the flow?
No, go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
If someone comes up with something like, hey, you should go tour with these guys with this band, and then you go, Yeah, why not? You know, so everything is always up in the air.
Yeah. So is it mostly Pain for, you say you there's potentially a headline tour again? Is it mostly Pain for release the next couple of months, or?
Yeah, well, actually, this tour now, and then we're gonna have a break for a while till the summer. We only have a few festivals this summer because we did so many last year. It's mainly going to be Hypocrisy doing festivals this year. So I don't know what's going to happen after the summer.
Yeah.
We're still, a lot of ideas and balls are up in the air. So I don't know if it's going to be Hypocrisy or Pain or whatever, you know. But I'm definitely going to try to get a few songs out with both bands, you know. I mean, Hypocrisy, it would be cool to maybe release a mini album or something, you know, so it doesn't take 8 years again, you know. But we're thinking about it, and I don't promise anything. But that's our idea to maybe release a couple of Hippo songs this year. I don't know how it's gonna go.
But at your sort of stage in your career and stuff, how much sort of say do you have on that? You know, do people give you almost a list of these are the dates, or do you actually get a bit of a say in, do you want to do this festival? Do you want to do that festival?
Yeah, they ask. I mean, our booker asked us, you want to do this festival? No. You want to do this one? Yeah. Okay.
So is that usually from experiences of it, or just basically, I really don't want to go to that country?
Or you actually have plans for once, you know? Maybe there's something that weekend you set out with friends and things, so it all depends what it is. I mean, there's a lot of great festivals out there nowadays, you know. There's only a few shitty ones left. It used to be the opposite in the past, you know. There was only a few good ones. So I mean, basically, most of them are really good organized, you know, and so on. So it's hard to say. You really just have to see what's important for you or for the people in the band and crew and stuff. So.
And a couple more sort of questions, and I will let you go and prepare for the show. But sort of set list, you know, you've got a number of albums now. How do you go around choosing what you do, and you know, again, balancing that with promoting I Am?
That's really tricky. I mean, now we're not headlining, so we got 1 hour to put in what 8, 9 albums. You know, try to do the best out of it. So you go out on your artist Spotify. What do people listen to most? And you do top 10, and then you put the rest what you want to do, kind of. Yeah. You know, so
that's really interesting. The fact that you sort of base it around what people are.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, I remember with Hypocrisy, we did actually this contests. You know, people had to write down the 5 favorite songs, and then we just pile them up, and we saw, okay, let's take all these, go out, because that's what people want. So.
But I remember, I think Metallica did that with their own requesting, and it ended up being exactly the same show, because everybody requests Master of Puppets.
I see that also. It's like brainwashing people. If you play these songs too many times live and they saw it, they want to keep on hearing it. So, I don't know. I think it's very important to take songs from all the albums. Sometimes it's hard. First album is really tricky. It's really hard to find something to play live, unfortunately. But you know,
is that because sort of you were just finding a way, or is that just, you know?
Yeah, that was just like turn off the lights and try to find something. You know? And I only had 1 month to write the album, record it, and give it to Nuclear Blast. So it was a start. It was a very weak start, but I think the second one actually became what I wanted the first one to be. So. Live and learn. That's all there is.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It really has been a pleasure. Got one final question, which is our end of interview question we always ask, which is if Wacken or Bloodstock came to you and said you can have a Pain day, you can have a day, you can curate your own day, and you know that's your day, and you can put on the bands you want. Who would you have on that?
No.
I don't want to do it.
No, I don't want to do that. Never ever caught my attention to even think about, so I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't.
Thank you. Well, that's the best answer we've had to that there, which is like, don't want to do it. Wouldn't do it.
It's not in there yet.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's gonna be. I mean.
Well, Peter, it's been an absolute pleasure to be a man who's got his fingertips or prints are all over sort of modern metal. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
thank you
too. Thank you very much.
You've been watching rockflesh.com. We've been with Peter from Pain. Subscribe and all that bits and pieces where you basically click things and show that you like us, and we'll catch you soon.
See you.